Tonight, a call for more foster carers in our region as dozens march through Whyalla, and Port Lincoln's shark diving brings in the big bucks for the region's economy.
This is Southern Cross News with Fraser Goldsworthy.
Good evening. First tonight, it's been revealed a furnace at Port Pirie smelter has been shut down all week due to operational issues that were discovered last Friday night. Nearstar says it's hoping to have the site back up and running as soon as possible, as Rachel Nell reports.
Last Friday night, the blast furnace used in the smelting process at Port Pirie smelter brought the ground to a halt. In a statement to Southern Cross, Nearstar says the blast furnace suffered an operational issue that required shutting down the furnace for investigation and repair, ahead of its scheduled maintenance work in October. The impact is expected to be minimal. No one was injured during the malfunction. Nearstar says by bringing the planned October works forward to this month, the final tie-in works will be able to be completed while the furnace is shut down. And with works continuing, the blast furnace has taken a week to fix, but it's hoped it'll be fully operational by Monday next week. Nearstar is continuing with a 6-month redevelopment of its smelter in Port Pirie to reduce the lead emissions into the atmosphere. The process involves the decommissioning and demolition of the existing sinter plant in a bid to cut down the amount of sulphur released into the atmosphere. With the blast furnace repair work completed this week, the redevelopment project is on track for hot commissioning to commence by the end of this month. Rachel Nell, Southern Cross News.
A march for foster carers has been held in Whyalla to recognise the tireless work the caregivers provide, but also to inspire others to sign up. It falls during National Foster Carers Awareness Week, but also at a time when local groups are desperately calling out for more carers.
It's not an easy job, but foster carers are an important part of society, giving shelter to kids who need a roof.
And if we have local carers, then we can help our kids stay local, which keeps them connected to their community. Centrecare
held a walkathon at the wetlands this morning to raise awareness and also to convince more in the community to step up.
The rewards are seeing a child grow and develop and giving them a nurturing and stable home so that they can reach their full potential.
Ms. Sleep says the region is crying out for more foster families.
We are always needing foster carers. There's always a great need for foster carers.
Andrew and Kirsty Wybrow recently hosted their first foster child. They're encouraging others to sign up, saying it's a privilege to help our most vulnerable find a safe home.
And I think we just felt it was the right time and the right thing to do.
There's so many people out there that have probably been wondering the same thing as well. Should I do it? And yeah, they should just go for it.
John Hunt, Southern Cross News.
A new study's revealed Port Lincoln's lucrative shark diving industry nets more than $8 million for the region's economy. The data's also uncovered more than 10,000 people travel to the town every year just for the up-close experience.
There's no doubt coming face to face with a great white shark is a bucket list adventure, and it seems an increasing number of tourists from around the globe are flocking to Port Lincoln to do so. A new study by Flinders University has highlighted the famous dive is injecting $8.1 million into the region's economy, but operators say that figure could be even higher.
The latest stats from the Tourism Commission point the figure closer to $12 million.
Australia's diving industry is estimated to be worth more than $25 million. The experiences ranging from snorkelling with whale sharks to swimming with reef sharks. But it's Port Lincoln's great whites that take out the biggest bite of the economic pie.
It's a thrilling business to be involved in, and I mean it's good to see more new people coming into not only Port Lincoln but into Australia.
There's no doubt the diving experience helps to put Port Lincoln on the map. Tourists who flock from interstate and overseas often choose the region solely to get up close and personal with those down below.
Port Lincoln as a destination is starting to mature. There's new businesses starting up, a lot of improvements at existing ones. Everyone's growing together, which is good to see.
Early this year, Calypso Charters featured on a new Monopoly board, which promotes the region on a global stage.
South Australia needed an icon, and we've certainly found that with the great white sharks.
Jason Kemp, Southern Cross News.
A man has been charged over drug trafficking in Port Augusta West. Officers pulled the man over on the Stewart Highway at 6 o'clock yesterday morning, where he allegedly tested positive to methamphetamine. Police then searched the man's car and found these concealed crystals, believed to be meth. He was charged with trafficking a controlled drug and was bailed to appear at the Port Augusta Magistrates Court at a later date. Still to come in tonight's local news, the site set to grace the skies in Port Augusta. Details next. Welcome back. A local MP is calling for a regional education hub to be launched in order to prop up a number of new projects. Rowan Ramsey wants one of 8 federally funded institutions to be set up in the Upper Spencer Gulf to help upskill locals.
Carrapateena, the revival of the wireless steelworks near Star and Olympic Dam are taking off, bringing billions of dollars and hundreds of skilled jobs to our region. Yet only 11% of adults in the Upper Spencer Gulf have the necessary qualifications.
That's pretty low, and considering that so many of the new jobs that are going to be created in the economy are going to require higher levels of understanding.
Mr. Ramsey is pushing for a regional education hub to be set up across the 3 cities, which will provide the necessary training. $15 million is to be spent on 8 centres across regional Australia, with 2 in Cooma and Geraldton already operational. It's expected it'll complement, not compete with existing institutions.
Where they can buy some space, rent some space in there, come in and present their courses with equipment supplied and all the things that make one of these facilities run. I think that's a real opportunity.
The region has suffered through a tight job market, with employees cutting back on apprenticeships and trainee opportunities.
There really are a big number of new jobs being created in Australia. So we need to get ourselves ready for that now.
John Hunt, Southern Cross News.
A Whyalla woman has been recognised as one of the state's top trainees. Nikita Isaacson finished in the top 4 at the 2017 SA Training Awards. She faced tough competition, including a member of the premiership-winning Adelaide Crows women's team. She's been working at Whyalla Council in the finance department for a year, handling rates, payments and other transactions. Miss Isaacson says she was shocked at the result.
I'm pretty impressed. I can't even believe that I even got that far. I didn't even think I'd even get an interview. I just thought I'd try it.
We're quite proud of what she's achieved so far, and it's been all her own work. We've supported her, but it's been her work.
Well, if you see one big object in the sky in Port Augusta next week, don't be alarmed. It'll be the Royal Australian Air Force balloon. The Air Force is conducting a regional engagement tour of the state, which will start in Renmark before finishing in Clare. The balloon is visiting Willesden Primary School on Monday before conducting a flight demonstration on Tuesday morning. One of Australia's fastest growing gym franchises is now catering to fitness enthusiasts on the Eyre Peninsula. Functional 45, or F45, has expanded in rapid success, with more than 400 outlets opening across the nation in just the last 3 years. And locals say this time it's helping to boost the local community.
Port Lincoln might be home to the most millionaires per capita, but it now could claim having the most gyms per capita too. The city has become a fitness hotspot, with 8 gyms now servicing its relatively small population. Members of the latest craze swear it's unlike anything else.
45 minutes, you wouldn't think that's enough time, but you certainly pack in a lot in these classes, and yeah, it's a lot of fun too.
There's a huge emphasis on the idea of team building and relationships. It's just a really good atmosphere.
F45 opened this week as the gym network continues to expand its fastest growing franchise in the world. The owners say what makes it unique is what happens away from the circuit.
It's not just about the training, it's about after hours too, catching up, meeting new people.
Functional 45 offers high burst group fitness, catering from beginner level to the more advanced, even receiving praise from AFL players. But it's not just attracting elite athletes.
The members that we've got have come from a non-training background, so rather than moving from other gyms, we're getting people off the couch.
And the thought of toning up the body for warm weather has members excited.
Leading to summer, these guys have opened at a perfect time, and I think plenty of other people around Port Lincoln are thinking the same.
Jason Kemp, Southern Cross News.
The Broken Hill YMCA is just 2 weeks away from carrying out the mammoth task of moving its base to 2 temporary locations ahead of a major redevelopment. The fitness centre will be transformed after receiving almost $4 million in state funding. The main building for programs, services, retail and fitness equipment will be on Oxide Street, while Zumba and Prime programs will be run out of the BIU Band Hall on Blend Street. Both buildings will be up and running by early October. When we return after the break, a chance for uni students in Adelaide to get hands-on experience in our region. Stay with us. Welcome back. Port Augusta's Country Women's Association is making life a little happier for local kids who may be doing it tough. It's put together pillowcases of toys and toiletries for children who often have no time to gather their belongings from home when moving into care.
These colourful pillowcases are a simple gesture, but they might be all at-risk children have when they're taken into care.
As we're aware, working in community service, children quite often actually have to leave their homes quite suddenly, whether there's a trauma in the family or it's for their safety. And we recognise that children really enjoy a bit of security.
Seeing kids leave their home or school for a safer place with nothing in their hands prompted members of the Port Augusta Country Women's Association to make life for these kids going through a tough time a little easier.
Having seen it firsthand when kids go away and then being able to offer something that can give them comfort was just so much fun.
Members hope the hand-painted pillowcases filled with trinkets from toys to art supplies will give children a sense of familiarity.
It'd be really nice if they could actually just put their head on a pillowcase which can go wherever they go. It's the same pillow every night. It might be the only thing that stays the same in their life for a week or two until they resettle.
CWA members painted the pillowcases on a meeting night and they've been gathering the gifts for the last 2 months.
I was really pleased to help knowing this is going towards children that are in a bad situation. When you unpack one of these, it's like a little Christmas, what's in the bottom of my pack? I've got a toy and, a book and, pencils and, oh gosh, the stuff that's in there can just be any of this stuff, so it's good.
Amelia Simpson, Southern Cross News.
Education students in Adelaide are being given the opportunity to study in our regions. Experts say experience outside of metropolitan areas provides vital skills to teach children in the school classroom.
Going Bush, a new initiative to give students an opportunity to access up to $4,000 to undertake a teaching placement in primary and high schools across the region.
Port Pirie is one of the 3 in the Upper Spencer Gulf that's going to be prioritised for those placements, and this is going to be really, really terrific.
University students in their final year of study are being enticed to enjoy a relaxed lifestyle that comes with living in a regional community, in hopes it'll encourage them to apply for work in the area.
It gives them the opportunity to come out here, but it gives us in the regions, and Port Pirie in particular, the opportunity to showcase what we've got out here and to be able to attract some of the best teachers out of the universities.
Supporting the Come See Change initiative in Port Pirie, university students will also be providing a boost to local economy.
The Upper Spencer Gulf is in the transition phase, and we are becoming what we were before, a powerhouse in the state.
Placements will begin next year, so schools around the region can expect to see a few new faces in the classroom. Rachel Nell, Southern Cross News.
Broken Hill's primary and high school students will come together for a special concert to raise money for the local hospital. The Far West Regional Talent Concert is promising to deliver plenty of song and dance for all ages.
A wonderful collaboration and celebration of the city's young talents.
A range of rock bands to backup dancers and singers, and we have soloists, some jazz, a whole range of different things. So poetry readings, it should be very exciting.
Having lost her father to cancer when she was younger, Sharon says she always wanted to set up a concert to raise money for the hospital and to help support cancer patients.
Every cent we earn goes straight to the hospital, so that will allow people with cancer to travel back and forth and support them when they need that sort of money.
The concert was held a couple of years ago and was a great success, and now it's back on in 2017. The performances are looking and sounding brilliant, with all schools in Broken Hill, as well as Menindee, set to perform. Tickets are available from the Broken Hill High School front office.
I'm exceptionally proud of all the schools, and I think they've just done an amazing job. They've come over for practices over the last few weeks, and and the way they've all merged together just shows you how beautiful the kids are and how talented they are. So yeah, very excited. I think they're going to be wonderful.
The concert will be held at the Broken Hill High School Hall on Wednesday and Thursday night next week. Doors open at 6 o'clock. Patrick Roenke, Southern Cross News.
Well, as the footy season's near an end, the stakes get higher in the footy tips. Here's what our experts are thinking this week.
Hello and welcome to preliminary final week of SGL football, with Solly's taking on the Lions at Port Oval on Saturday. Solly's were disappointing last week in their loss to South and will need to bounce back if they are to earn themselves a grand final spot and another crack at South. The Lions easily accounted for West in last week's elimination final, and they come into this match full of confidence. These two sides have met 3 times this season, with Solly's winning all 3 matches, keeping the Lions to under 10 goals in each of those games. But this is finals, and those games will count for nothing come Saturday. Both teams will be throwing everything they've got into this match, and I'm expecting a fierce contest. I'm tipping a Solly's win to set up a grand final showdown with South in Port Augusta next week.
Welcome to Port Lincoln Footy Tips, and what an exciting few weeks it's been. This week we have Marble Range, who beat Lincoln South by just 1 point, taking on Mallee Park, who lost to Waybacks by just 1 point. First of all, we'll congratulate Waybacks for going straight through the grand final, and also congratulate a few Mallee Park boys, Kai Miller and Kingsley Bilney Jr. for coming runners-up in the male medal on this week, and also Peter Lindsay for taking out this year's male medal. Huge week for Mallee Park with those 3 boys, and also with Barry Johncock Jr. being suspended for the rest of this year. This week, I assume it's going to be a nail-biter because the whole finals have been like that. Mallee Park had a firm hand on the cup all year, but some late injuries and obviously the suspension brings it to anyone's game. Marble Range, on the other hand, they've got their best team of the year. In saying that, Mallee Park are really strong and going to be hard to beat. I'm going to tip Mallee Park to win this one by 2 goals.
Do stay with us after the break. A check of the all-important weekend weather forecast with Nicole.